I want to particularly thank you, Retha, and the other members of the board of NACDB for trying to exemplify the best of corporate governance and set the standard for everybody else. And because I think it's important to point that out, because it has been more shocking to me than the failures of Wall Street has been the subsequent failure of Wall Street to assume any kind of a leadership role. And it seems to me that this is really a crucial moment for corporate directors, because frankly, if you don't demonstrate some leadership right now, some ownership of these issues and some initiatives and how to address them, you're going to be hit with a world of pain. It really seems to me the most important point I can make on pay is that do something. Do something right now. Don't wait to have it be done upon you. As Shakespeare might have said about corporate governance, some are born with good corporate governance, some achieve good corporate governance, and some have it thrust upon them. And you want to be in that second category, okay? A week ago, I testified, or sorry, 2 weeks ago, I testified before Congressman Waxman's committee, and I just want to talk for a minute about what I said, aside from saying I told you so. I'm sorry, if anybody's entitled to say that, it's me. It's the fourth time I've testified before Congress this year, and every time I testified, I said to them, if you're going to pay people based on the volume of transactions instead of on the quality of transactions, you're going to create a problem. How hard is it to figure that out? And that is, in fact, what happened on Wall Street. It was a big, big contributor. As I have said many, many times to this group before, and I'm going to keep saying forever, you have to look at executive compensation like any other asset allocation in terms of return on investment. And if you got the kind of return on investment for every dollar of CEO pay that you did in R&D or marketing or anything like that, you would change the way it's organized, because your return on investment is better at a piggy bank. I'm going to introduce you to a new term that I'm inventing just today, forensic corporate governance, because that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing forensic corporate governance to figure out what's gone wrong at all of these companies. Now, my company, we rate boards of directors like bonds, AAA through junk, and we sell that to D&O liability insurers, plaintiffs' lawyers, and a lot of other people, investors. And I want to just give you an update on one of our previous reports, which was pay for failure. It was the worst pay performance links in our database. Since the time we came out with last year's report on pay for failure, 6 of those companies have adopted Say on Pay. All but 1 have adopted clawbacks. 7 out of 9 reduced severance. 6 increased the performance measures compensation. 7, going to Ken's very important point in his introduction today, exceeded SEC requirements in disclosure. However, 6 continue to overpay, and 2 don't disclose their pay thresholds. I think that's all going to have to change. Our 2008 comp report, which just came out, we showed double-digit rises in total comp. This, I just have to give this number, even though it's anomalous, because I just like saying it, okay? Steve Jobs, a 1.5 billion% increase in pay. That's pretty impressive. 29 of the executives, however, got more than 1,000% increase, but 25 got a decrease of 90% or more. This is interesting. Retha, I want you to listen to this. Women CEOs have a higher base but a lower total pay. I don't know why that is. And 6 financial services CEOs are among the top 30. Now, there's something wrong with that picture. Somebody once said that true change comes about when what has been perceived as a misfortune is perceived as an injustice. We are now at that tipping point with regard to CEO pay. People are furious about it. I was interviewed on CNN yesterday, and they said, well, but some of these Wall Street guys, they did very well for a long time. Shouldn't we pay them for that? And I said, you know what? If you're going to give an athlete a medal, you don't say, well, he ran the first 3 quarters of the race really well. It does, you know, okay, so he came in last, but the first 3 quarters were great. You don't do it that way. So I think Say on Pay is inevitable. I think that you're going to see a lot of no votes for compensation committee members. You're going to see majority vote becoming universal, and you're going to see some directors thrown out. Clawbacks are going to become universal. And again, you do not want to wait for this to happen to you. Take the initiative, show some leadership, and solve this problem as a matter of markets rather than, and risk assessment rather than having it forced upon you by regulation.